So let's find a good place to have this conversation. With lots of... up nice and close.
Look upon Mulamnir in despair, morsel. You have no chance against me, no chance at all. But Mulamnir can be merciful. Come, let us talk.
Mersie resists the urge to pull out her bow and try and hit him right in the eye. She would die for it, but at least he might be blinded, at least in one eye. She then thinks it over, sighs, and says, well, if he wanted to eat me, she thinks, I would be dead already. Let me get this straight. You just killed all my friends. Those Khajiit there that you just blew fire all over and now they're dead. The only reason I'm not dead, at least not yet, though I expect that my life is coming to a swift end, but the only reason I'm not dead is because you missed and I rolled away too fast. So now you want me to chat? You want to sit down and have a cup of tea? Really?
Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Eurexia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious.
So, do you expect me to just give up and put down my bow and just die like a good girl? I don't think so. You know what? If you wanted to kill me, you could right now. So go ahead and eat me if you want, but I'll tell you, I'm really bony going down. And I'll make sure to cause you as much pain as I can when I go. I'll stick my bow out, and I'll stick one of my arrows right up in the roof of your mouth. So at least you have that to look forward to. Do you really expect me, Mersie, who wants to be a real live knight, that's what I'm gonna be, you want me to just surrender? I don't think so.
You and Abnathon are insignificant. But even an infinitesimal flea can irritate after it crawls beneath the scales. I offer you one last chance to survive. If you and the battle mage leave elsewhere, my brothers and I will not hunt you down.
Well, you also, despite being really ugly, you're also hard of hearing. Like I said, if you want to eat me, just go ahead and do it. At least I'm gonna go standing up proud and brave, instead of on my knees crying like a little girl. So you know what? We refuse to leave. What are you gonna do about that? Huh? And in her head she's thinking, please don't let him smell that I've already wet my small clothes. I'm peed with fear.
Then you will die, but not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to ELSWEYR. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. So promises Mulamnir, whose claws have dealt 1,000 deaths.
Well, I guess it's going to have to be 1,001. You know what? I'll pass along your message. But like I said, if you're going to eat me, get it over with. And since, by the way, I've wet my small clothes, I'm going to taste even worse.
Leave ELSWEYR, little morsel. Tell the battle mage, if I see you again, you will die.
Ugh, that was terrible. I was trying to get out of the way of that winged twilight.
Are you all right?
She watches Mulamnir. She watches Mulamnir as his wings beat the air and he flies away. suddenly, she hears the voice. Are you all right? Are you all right? She hears. Just over her shoulder. Chimera! It's you! You live! Oh, I'm so glad! And I'm glad to see you talking with other adventurers. Yeah!
I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp.
So I see a couple things that came in while I was doing that. It looks like a couple people asked me some things. Do I have any plans to play a Plague Tale? Nope. That does not sound like a game I would like. Is the role-playing community in ESO active? I do, first of all, welcome, Leo. Second of all, I do voiced roleplay, and I can say that's not active at all, but I have not tried to roleplay within the community of ELSWEYR. I mean, the community of Elder Scrolls Online. I roleplay through live streaming, and I roleplay privately with myself when I'm playing solo, and I roleplay in a co-op roleplay situation with a friend. So I have two friends I roleplay with, and we do so through Discord. So as far as I understand that there is an active role-playing community, but for some reason, everybody roleplays through text, which does not appeal to me. I like role-playing by voice, which can be fantastic. I've had some amazing stories that have also really helped Mersie grow as a character. Yeah, exactly what Pokerface said too. It's a little bit hard to break into that, but I haven't really tried. Like the rock biter from Never Ending Story. I actually haven't seen that movie, so I wouldn't know. Wonder what anyone else thinks. So welcome, Leo. It took me a while to answer that. Sorry about that. Chimera, you're alive. What happened after you leaped off the cliff? Wait, let's try that again, because she didn't see that. Chimera, you're alive. The dragon blew fire all over you. What happened?
I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for.
I don't know if you saw it before it flew off, but Chimera, it talked to me. His name is Mulamnir, and it told me that it wants me and Abner Thorn to leave ELSWEYR, and I told it where it could go sit and where it could go spin.
We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now.
Well, Abner Thorn is in Riverhold with Garish Ree. I suppose I need to go and tell him right away what happened. I mean, well, first I gotta change my small clothes, if you understand what I mean. Talking to a dragon is really, really scary. But then after that, I'll go to Riverhold and inform Garish Ree and Abner Thorn.
Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there.
I look forward to it. You'll find me in or around the inn. Having just had a bath. Trust me. Excuse me, and I'm really sorry about the smell. And then she sort of waddles off. It's gonna be really uncomfortable sitting on my horse all the way there. I might chafe. But, well, I have a feeling that I won't tell Finial about this. It's rather embarrassing, really. Okay, so, yeah, let's head on down. Not walk into a tree branch. So yeah, if you were a very tiny little Bosmer and a dragon talked to you and you thought it was going to eat you, you might wet your small clothes too. I'm glad there's so many adventurers about. Makes me feel a little braver. Alright, how am I going to get down from here? See, it looks like if I just slide down real careful like to there. Oh, and then let's see, this is gonna hurt a bit. Not too bad. Ow! Alright, that really hurt, more than a little bit. Oh, thank God for potions. Whew. I have to hobble around a little bit. Let's get my horse. Alright, so we need to head all the way back to Riverhold. And the most important thing we need to do is make our way to the road. Let's walk under this tree branch. Oh yeah, I know where I am now. That was the road. Oh, bother. I'm too tired to tangle with you, ogre. Just want to get out of here alive. Ow, my ankle. Oh, I just went right into a harpy nest. I wonder. Ooh, those things shoot flames. Oh. All right, well, these things look really nasty. Just like those harpies in the stories my mom used to tell me. Alright, let's get back to town. A bath and a bit of a drink is really what's needed. And some food as well. Okay, so. Yeah, Gale. Yep, another, I'm always aiming for realism because it helps us try and my goal is to help us immerse ourselves so that we forget that it's a game and we feel like we're really there. So I interact with the environment as if we're actually there and it's not some magic world. I mean, well, it is, but yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean there. So, anyway, welcome back, Angie. All right, so I think that means it's time for another story. As we travel back to Riverhold, this is Fang of the Sea Viper.
At the request of Her Majesty's Advisor Nullithiel, I have compiled this brief accounting of the Maorma of Piondonia, known commonly as Sea Elves. Read now, and let the light of knowledge free you of your fear. Their ancient history is well known across the Dominion, and not worth recounting in detail here. Suffice to say that the Archmage known as King Organum has long led the outcasts of the Shrouded Isle. He uses foul spells, rituals, and sacrifices to continually renew his youth and vigor. Other rumors you have heard are true as well. The rituals of Organum allow the Maorma to control sea serpents. Some have mastered the art of riding the beasts among the waves, while larger and less docile beasts, swim in support of their largest fleets. The fleet that now threatens Oregon, we have learned, calls itself the Sea Viper. Recent events in the Three Banners War have driven the Vipers into the seas around Oregon and the mainland. The opportunistic Maorma now seek their own victories in the war between the alliances. The first Oregon Marines, the Dominion Navy, and others now stand ready to halt the advance of the Maorma. If you see signs of the Vipers, report them at once to your cannon reef or the nearest Dominion officer. Eagles, know that the Viper will not take our nest. Be wary, but have courage.
Be wary, but have courage. You know what? Let's hear another one, because that one was very short. Let's go Gifts of the Nereids. Ooh, water.
When I was young, my parents brought me to the cave where the priests worshipped the Nereids. They dedicated me to the temple so that I might one day become a priest too. There were only 3 other children in the temple when I was growing up. The others made fun of me until I was 10 years old, because one of my legs was shorter than the other and I had a limp. One day we were running through the cave, something that was forbidden, but the priests often looked the other way, letting children be children. And I tripped and fell face down into the water. I hit my head and blacked out. The other children were far ahead of me already, so they didn't see. Later, the priests told me that one of the Nereids had lifted me out of the water. I said I didn't remember that happening, but later on I did recall the feeling of floating, and also a kind of terror, like I had seen something I was not supposed to see. Something that was too beautiful for mortal eyes. The priests instructed us in our relationship to the Nereids. We were required to memorize the gifts of the Nereids and repeat them back every day. The gifts of the Nereids are threefold: the beauty of their form, the sweetness of their singing, and protection from harm. The older children got to help the priests with rituals. Meat was brought to the central altar to feed the Nereids, and once a year, one priest would go deep into the cave to meditate among their singing. When he would emerge, he would give a prophecy. When he comes of age, each child has a choice to stay and become a priest, or to go into exile. After so many years living in the cave, I could not imagine another life, and so I chose the priesthood. But sometimes I long for sunlight and wonder where a different path might have taken me, and what sights I might have seen if I had chosen exile.
Haha, that was so awesome. So those 2 stories were read by NARRA, who has a YouTube channel. That's NARRA, I believe. Next week, when my mod team is back, because they're on vacation, my normal mod team, I will... Isn't this amazing, Mr. Bunny? Hi, but Mr. Bunny, by the way, welcome. All right, we're coming up on a crossroads here. We need to make a left just here. Let me walk through these people. My husband just came home and my little kitty went running for it. Okay. Because Daddy is his food source. And it's dinner time, so all right, and as usual, right outside of town, we're gonna de-horse know, before I go and talk to Abnathon, I'm thinking that I might want to... Kind of a dangerous place to bathe with these elites nearby. But if I just sit here and just sort of... there we go. And then she just tries to clean herself as best she can, just in the very muddy water. As she walks along the bottom of the river, the mud sifts up. But it's better than smelling like one's peed one's pants, which I did. I mean, both smell like, and I did. Let's see. Dry off a little bit. Shake the old bum. There we go. Much better. Plus, it makes me feel less chafed. Was that a duck? No, there are no... Wait, no, that's not true. There are... That over there is an elite, not a duck. It's like a... But there are, like... there's an osprey, I believe? Or an egret? One of those two. Shake the old bum. Yep. Oh, there's that man again. I mean, that large Khajiit. Hello there. Excuse me.
There are no finer mounts than...
Have 3 more hours to go. Okay. That's cool. He's so big. Oh, and, I always forget to turn up the volume again on the game. After the audiobook. She's been... yeah, Toadstool said the same thing. And yeah, she is. She's growing. I mean, you can't go through what she's going through and not grow up a little bit. So she did sound much more childlike. And then as I'm, you know, staring a dragon in the face, even if you wet your small clothes doing it, will definitely, oh, that's awesome.
Ah, there you are. Spare a moment for a chit-chat?
Look at him playing ball. Oh, Caldwell. Hello, my fellow knight. Glad to see you doing well. That is awesome. Look at that. That is a great animation. I hope that they can give that to players too. It's like pumpkin. That looks like... Is that a pumpkin? That's a good way to keep your dexterity up. Listen, Cadwell.
If we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really use your help.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure forgetfulness is a problem with someone of your advanced years. Oh, sorry. But I just got back, Cadwell. So, what's wrong? Looks like you're enjoying yourself, though. I'll have to try that trick sometime.
Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was gone.
Gone? You mean the head? Is that what you mean?
The betrayer's head, the dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen.
Oh, I don't like that. I really don't. I've had enough of it for today. But, well... You think this betrayer's head has something to do with the dragons? I mean, I can't see what that would have to do. But still...
Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town hall with the cat general.
Oh, all right, thanks. Appreciate it. Enjoy your game.
I could use a break.
I'll make my way in. I think this is the town hall. Oh, you look quite cute. Excuse me. Mr. Thorn? Oh, Mr. Thorn?
It's taking forever.
Oh. Oh, there's Captain Nalado. And there's Lord Garish Ree. Oh, Lord Garish. I mean, Lord Garish
Tharn
Ree.
and Nalado gave me their accounts of the attack on the outpost. Dragons, undead, Euraxia's soldiers. Our foes seem as numerous as grains of sand in the desert. Tharn and I have discussed options, but we have not settled on our next move yet.
Oh. Well, I'm glad Nalado made her way back safely. I actually want to talk to a captain.
The losses we suffered at the Defense Force outpost were devastating, but we aren't done yet. The documents you recovered from the ruins of the camp provide options and access to allies, should we need to call upon them.
Oh, I'm glad they helped. Sorry again about the puke on them. Who knew that zombies throw up all the time? It's disgusting, really. Seems like if I die, I want to stay dead. I'd be really mad if someone raised me. All right, Mr. Thorn.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any of them. Tell me, what of Chimera and the source of the undead?
Well, it's like this. Chimera and I, well, her team, we killed the necromancers in the mountain, and sure enough, they was raising things, and it was really awful. But Euraxia has an army of them. That's what I've learned. That was only one spot.
You paint a troubling picture, my friend. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report?
Well, there's one thing really important. I spoke to Mulamnir. He really spoke to me, and I did a lot of cowering, but I tried. He said that Euraxia was the puppet, and he told us to leave elsewhere. He just said, really, just leave. I told him, well, if he wanted me to leave, he could just eat me, but he didn't, and then it flew off.
My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving elsewhere, I think not. Obviously, this Mulamnir fears us. Otherwise, the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to you.
Well, that's the only thing I can conclude, because like I said, I wouldn't be here. He could eat me just as soon as blink. Have you spoken to Cadwell? He's outside playing ball or something with a pumpkin. He's worried about that disturbed grave. I think the head is missing.
Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her.
Maybe she doesn't even know. Maybe Mulamnir has given us something to work with. If we go and we tell her that I spoke to him and he said that she's just a puppet, it might make her pretty mad. Then we could team up against the dragons and kill them. Let's go to Ribbon.
A parley? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think like a Tharn, my friend. Here, take this. Gareshri gave it to me, but I refuse to accept payment for my services.
Oh, well, thank you. I could use it because I'm gonna need some new breeches, and small clothes. A parley would be good. By the way, you said I was beginning to think like a Tharn. I don't mean to be rude and all, but, well, Euraxia is a Tharn, and you're a Tharn, and, well, as I'm sure you're a nice guy and all, you did bring back the dragons, so I'm not sure if I ever want to learn how to think like a Tharn. I think I'll just stick to being a knight, if you don't mind.
A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. I imagine my half-sister will treat us as befits my station and agree to the meeting. Attend to any other matters if you must, then see me when you're ready to leave.
Yes, as I said, I do have some matters to attend to, some shopping and all. By the way, I don't know if we should just walk in there and talk to your sister, seeing as how you guys got bad blood between you. I'm thinking that maybe we ought to have a plan for negotiating with Euraxia. What do you think?
It just so happens I already have one. It involves distracting my half-sister with wit, charm, and words she barely comprehends. Oh, and you. Euraxia never could resist a pretty face. You'll pretend to be my bodyguard and personal valet.
What's a valet? Is that like a secretary or something? I mean, I can do the body part. But what's a valet?
Consider it obfuscation to hide your true purpose. We don't want to give Euraxia a reason to react poorly to overtures of reconciliation. Not that I expect to reach an accord, but still. Meet me in Rimmon and we'll enter the palace together.
All right. As soon as I figure out what a valet is, and what Right, I'll try. As best I can. I'll go get some new clothes and armor, so I look better. You know, standing by your side and all. It'll be more believable, all right? See you in Ribbon. Can't wait to see it.
Go on. I'm capable of traveling to Rimmon on my own. We'll meet up at the city gates and go to the palace from there. I'm relatively certain Euraxia will honor the parley, but be prepared for anything. She's still a Tharn, after all.
Like I said, it's not really something I want to try on, being a Tharn. I'll leave the Tharning to you two, all right? Oh, and she turns to walk away, and then she turns back and she says, oh, I just had one thought. So, since we're going to be meeting your half-sister, and we're going to be parlaying with her and all, it might be a good idea to know more about her. You know, find her weak spots and all of that.
We're not very close, in case I haven't made that abundantly clear. Euraxia is an accomplished mage in her own right. My younger sibling has always been ambitious, but I didn't realize the extent of her aspirations until the Frostfall coup.
What's the Frostfall coup? I never heard of it.
About 6 years ago or so, while Emperor Varen was busy with his rebellion, Euraxia took advantage of the confusion to lead a column of Nibonese mercenaries into northern ELSWEYR. She declared herself Queen of Rimmon and its adjacent fiefs.
Nibonese mercenaries. So that's how she did it. It's like she kind of snuck in behind everybody's back. And everyone just let her do that? Or perhaps they didn't even notice.
Of course not. The Khajiit called her the Usurper Queen, remember? Once Varen became emperor, he had other problems to worry about. Same with Queen Irene. As long as the Alliance War occupies her forces, the Khajiit are on their own out here.
Oh. I see. So it's like they're on their own, all by themselves. That's why they're not getting any help from the other nations, with the dragons and all, which you would think Tamriel, all of Tamriel, should be really kind of bothered by. Alright, well thanks for the update. Goodbye. First of all, oh, that must be Garishri's throne. I won't sit there, that would be really rude. I'll go over here. Have a bit of, And I have a notification. Let's see what the daily reward is today. It is writing lessons in 2 days. We get the camel, Saturday, Sunday. I will get the camel on Sunday. That'd be cool. And so this is to Lord Garishri from Chimera, talking about Zumog Foom and how he is the self-proclaimed Lord of the Dark Arts and the reason why there are so many more necromancers. He hails from Rothgar. It's basically a report on Zumog Foom, which Mersie reads while she eats. And what's I gonna do here? Here we go. We're gonna end this with Mersie having a bit of a drink and a bit to eat. Let's have some soup. And then she's gonna sit down and think about affairs.